Well, welcome into Aberdeen High School. Don Morrison, my partner Pat Pollard with the Aberdeen Eagles versus the Edgewood Rams. And, Pat Pollard, we talk about natural rivalries. You played at Edgewood. I coached at Aberdeen, went to Edgewood. Edgewood, Aberdeen, say no more. It's like Bel Air, Falston. It's like any rivalry you want to talk about. Throw out the records. It's going to be a real barn burner.
Well, it's been a rivalry for a long time, as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
And that goes back into not as long as you, but easily into the mid-'70s. I can remember as a kid going to the Edgewood and Aberdeen games. When you saw.
And 1 second, Pat. Now let's honor our country with our national anthem.
It's the marching band.
At Aberdeen, and so that adds the intrigue into it as well. I always ask my co-host, if you're playing as a senior and it is your senior year, the emotions just come all over you. Does it help you? Does it hinder you? Does it make no difference?
I think it makes a difference in the week leading up to the game, and a little bit of nervousness. This is a little bit different than our typical senior night because of the early start. I've just heard that we're not going to do the festivities beforehand.
That's correct.
Which I would like. When you have all that stuff and parents on the field and that kind of thing, it's nice, but you're just itching to go. You're raring to go, and that nervousness comes out after the first hit.
And Pat, one of the questions that you brought up, we're starting at 4 o'clock today because of an official situation. They had to move it earlier to get the officials to be able to be here. Does that affect you? Does it bother you? You're normally starting at 7 o'clock. You're starting 3 hours earlier. The body clock, does that bother you at all?
Well, this is probably about the time they normally practice from a body clock standpoint, I think it's okay. It's just out of ordinary, and there's not as much. You can see the crowd is still filtering in. We were here for a Hartford Tech game with Aberdeen earlier in the year and had a wonderful crowd. So it's sometimes you have to create your own excitement and your own motivation on a 4 o'clock game because it's just. It's not Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, it will be. But and the other thing, we're talking to Bob Arnold, who's the baseball coach here and also the PA announcer. Along about the third or fourth period, the sun's going to be going down. In baseball, it's really a problem trying to hit the ball in the twilight. Is the twilight going to affect either team as we come to the third or fourth period?
Shouldn't affect football. They've already got the lights on, so it's not like they're going to have to turn them on and people will have to adjust. So it should be a transition, and other than maybe catching a punt, and it's a big brown ball other than a little white baseball. So I think we'll be okay from that standpoint.
There you see the coin toss occurring. It looks like that the referee, and we'll give you his name here, that's Steve Warner, the referee. What's he saying? Who's going to be receiving the ball?
Looks like Edgewood's getting the ball.
Looks like Edgewood will get the ball. Edgewood dressed in their visiting white uniforms across the way. Aberdeen in the gold and the blue on the near side. And Pat, we talked about this rivalry that goes back into the 1960s with Bud Coakley and Jim Smith, the legendary coaches.
I knew them both.
I can remember when Edgewood never beat Aberdeen. It was like early on. And finally, Aberdeen or Edgewood broke through and beat Aberdeen. It was like, we're with the big boys. And this rivalry, year after year, is just something to behold.
Well, Jim Smith just would torture Bud Coakley.
Oh, yeah.
But it's always been a great rivalry. It's about 40 teams, nothing between them. And, and back in those days, they had even a larger link with the military communities.
That's true.
At Aberdeen and Edgewood. Not so much anymore. Not nearly as the military families that we had even in my day in the late 70s, early 80s. But
and Pat, let's talk about the records. Edgewood is 4-3. That's very deceiving. 2 of their wins came by virtue of forfeit when the other teams were hit with COVID. Now, I think they probably would have been favored in both of those games, so assuming they would have won them. But then their losses have been very, very close, in some cases because they lost their quarterback in the first game, and he missed the entire second game. They ended up 0-2 to start the season. And then last week they played the Friendship Collegiate Academy out of D.C., one of those really high-powered D.C. programs. Had that game at least tied late in the game, lost on the last play of the game. So they could easily be, let's say 5-2 or maybe even 6-1.
Well, the first game they lost to Gilman. MIAA stalwart down in Baltimore. I applaud Coach Rawlings for putting some of these teams on the schedule. And
Pat, we're just about ready for the kickoff. Aberdeen will be kicking off. They're going from right to left across your TV screen. Again, dressed in those home gold uniforms, Edgewood receiving. It's a nice long high kick coming down, fielded at about the 10-yard line. Coming back to the 25 and down just about at the 30-yard line, where Edgewood will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Don, what I was saying is that Edgewood was beating Gilman at halftime, and the quarterback got hurt and missed the following game against Elkton, which they lost a very close one there. And you said, but a couple of their wins were by forfeit, so it's we're not sure exactly what we have with Edgewood yet. They've had 2 big wins in games they've actually played in Seamilton Wright and North Hartford. And Aberdeen has kind of been a team that's up and down a little bit, too. We saw them play here against Tech.
And remember, Aberdeen has had a coaching change mid-season. Kelvin Harris is a new coach. He's been coaching only for 2 games. This is 3rd game. So it's interesting to see how the Aberdeen team, you as a player, disrupted having a coaching change that, mid-season. So
I can't imagine going through that.
Here's a pass on the first play, complete to the near side. Dodges one tackler. Goes down to the far sideline and picks up a first down, still on his feet, finally taken out of bounds. That's LeVar Banks on the receiving end of the pass from Larry Bacino Lopez. Banks, the leading receiver on this team, 15 catches, 139 yards, 9.3 his average, 2 TDs coming in. So Edgewood with a good start.
Hartford County fans might remember the Banks name from a couple of years ago. I think it's his cousin that's playing down at the University of Maryland. Was starting at cornerback before a shoulder injury. Another is his cousin played quarterback for Edgewood on those teams. A really good Edgewood team a few years ago.
Almost a jump off sides by Aberdeen, able to get back. Jamar Torres here on the near side in the slot. I formation with backs on both sides. The handoff up the middle. That goes to Banks. Banks, who runs around that left side. He's clear down to the sideline, finally taken out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line. Yeah, check it. It was Timmy Oyekunle, number 6, not number 1. Oyekunle, who has 320 yards and 8.9 yards per carry coming into the ball game. Pat, 2 plays and right down the field, it looks like Cleveland last night against Denver.
Yeah, Edgewood's off to a good start. 2 big plays. I'm sure Coach Rawlings is happy about that.
Timmy Oyekunle, the running back, number 6, gets the ball again. Cuts back inside. Good gain down near the 15-yard line.
I tell you, I couldn't quite tell on the second play around there, but on that play, Gilner, the left tackle, who's a monster for Edgewood, just collapsed that side of the Aberdeen line. Just pushed him right down the line, and Oyekunle went around him.
Is a first down and 10. The ball at the 15-yard line. 3 plays. They've gone from their own 30 down to the 15. Oyekunle again. This time he's going to be hemmed up and bottled in. Tommy Fisher, Javari Bowman in the center of that Aberdeen defensive line. We'll give you the starting lineup as quickly as we can. They're going to move quickly. Isaiah Martin is the split end. Jacob Martin is the other end. LeVar Banks and Jamar Torres in the slot. Larry Bacino Lopez, Timmy Oyekunle, and John King in the backfield.
Well, Edgewood's going up tempo here.
Handoff. That's Oyekunle again. Cuts it around the left side. He's going to be hit, not held. Looks like he might have the first down and more down near the goal line. Boy, Oyekunle, it's the first time we've had a chance to see him. It was Banks that time. Okay, thank you. Number 1 and not number 6. It's interesting, Banks, who plays that slot, oftentimes comes in and plays a 3-back backfield.
He's an all-purpose guy. He'll run a little bit, they'll throw to him. Good athlete.
324 yards rushing on the season and 139 yards receiving. This time it looks like Oyekunle, the man in the backfield, right up the middle. And he's in for the touchdown. So just like that, it's a 5-play drive. Edgewood goes right down the field, 70 yards, 10-17, coming from the last, 2 yards, covered by Oyekunle.
Edgewood runs a little trickeration here. We'll see if they do it. See if Aberdeen adjusts to it. They did this against Collegiate Academy on the extra point.
Odie Cunley.
Well, Aberdeen obviously watched some film. That didn't work.
That didn't work out so well. So the try for two is no good. 6-0 is the score.
I'm not sure that's supposed to happen that way. When Aberdeen lines up the correct way, I think they're supposed to get back under center in the normal formation.
Here you'll see the touchdown coming. Oye Cunley, number 6, getting the handoff, and boy, he's got a big hole there. Anthony Pritchard, Brendan Gellner, Trent Alexander, Eric Williams, Daniel Fawawi.
Nice double team there by Pritchard and Alexander.
Number 62 and 65, both juniors. You look across that front line, 3 of their linemen are juniors. They're really a mixed bag team. They've got a sophomore starting as well as 4 juniors, actually 2 sophomores starting. So Keith Rawlings, we haven't had a chance to talk too much about him, your fellow Edgewood High School Hall of Famer who played at Edgewood back in the day, as did you.
Yeah, Keith is, he got held up a year with COVID. This is probably the final stop on a much acclaimed coaching career, where he was coached at Edgewood out of college and coached rec sports for a long time, and then was the head coach at John Carroll, had some success there, went down to St. Paul's when his sons were down there, and won a couple MIA championships as a defensive coordinator, came back to John Carroll and had the best season in John Carroll's history, and with his son Kurt at quarterback, and then and now he's probably the last stop on his coaching career at Edgewood. This is important to him to come back to where he all started. I think that, if you had his choice, this is exactly where it'd be. And oh, by the way, he happens to own and operate the Arena Club there in Churchville. A very successful entrepreneur. Very proud of him as an Edgewood High School graduate. Kick goes out of bounds, and so Aberdeen gets a break. They'll be starting at their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Aberdeen, we got to watch out. They get big Tommy Fisher in the backfield. He's a load. There's a handoff up the middle. Bakai Credell, the senior quarterback, Zaire Pinnell, and Tommy Fisher, as you mentioned, big number 44. Gain of about 3 on first down. They give Antoine Jackson, the middle linebacker, the credit on the tackle. 30 tackles coming in, 3 for loss. Edgewood playing that 4-4 defensive deployment with 2 corners and the safety. Pistol backfield. Inside to give to Fisher. Boy, he's hit just as he got the ball. Yeah, that's how you have to hit him. I know Coach Rawlings, I was talking to him before the game. He was a little concerned about the guys hitting him high. You got to go low on him. You hit him up, Fisher up in the shoulder pads, or you're just going to bounce off. Looked like Avon Criven, I should say, with the tackle. 3 sacks, a fumble recovery, 29 tackles on the season, 6 tackles for loss. That when he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 3rd down and a long 7. Got to get inside Ram territory. Credell calling signals with the ball. Looks like a quarterback keeper all the way, and good he's defense. Not going to go anywhere. Good contained by the end there. Boy, it was. Pat, you're exactly right. It looked like he wanted to cut it wide. That was cut off. He tried to cut back inside, and all he found was some white jerseys. 3 downs, 3 and out for Aberdeen after Edgewood just went right down the field in 5 plays to score their touchdown. Not a good sign for Kelvin Harris, the new Aberdeen coach. Yeah, I think that was a Waller with the contain out there. Tristan Smith in to punt the ball away. 8 minutes, 25 seconds left in the first period. Player coming onto the field late for Aberdeen. Good snap. This high left-footed spiraling kick, taken on the run. Cutting back to the near side and now hemmed in and taken down at the 35-yard line. Well, good start so far for the Rams. 3 and out from the defense, and let's see if Aberdeen can settle down a little bit on their D. That was Jameer Torres, the sophomore sprinter. We were talking to some of the coaches beforehand, and they say he is just a star on the track and field team. So as a sophomore, perhaps he's got some growing to do to become a stalwart on the football team.
First down and 10, the ball at the 35. Edgewood's second possession, leading by 6-0. Ran backfield, Larry Brasino Lopez, Temi Oyekunle, John King. Pistol backfield again. Looking to throw, rolling left, has a man. It's going to be diving.
Nice
You're
throw.
going to say,
Nice
yes,
catch.
nice catch. Boy, he's sliding and making that catch. He must have looked like, was that Go Torres, number 19?
Might have been, yep, good call.
Well, that was a nice catch. He dove and got it right at the first down marker, and it is a first down. So Edgewood has had 6 plays. All 6 have been very successful. Here's a pass out to the near side, dodging one man, getting past the first tackle, and down he goes. That's LeVar Banks. Banks, the young man that we are. There's a little bit of extracurriculars, and the flag goes
Pushing
down.
and shoving.
Emotions between Edgewood and Aberdeen always right at the surface. Bragging rights are here. Let's see what the flag is all about. It was a gain of about 5 on the play. Banks sprinting from the left side to the near side. Caught the pass from Brasino Lopez. Officials talking it over. Steve Warner, Mike West, Nelson Cohn, Jim Ellis, and the field judge, Roger Torres.
Yeah, are they going to be offsetting, or is it going to be dead ball on the personal foul? It's holding Edgewood, dead ball, or personal foul on Aberdeen. Let's see if they're offsetting.
It looks like they're getting ready to mark off against Aberdeen. Maybe not.
Oh, somebody's thrown out. That's a shame.
Yeah, it is a disqualification.
I think it was number 51 for Aberdeen. I was watching the play, Don. I looked back and saw a little scuffle, so I'm not sure what happened there. Sometimes the guy that gets caught is the second guy in it, unfortunately. I don't know what happened exactly here, but that's a shame.
Yeah, on senior night
Senior
again.
night.
If it was 51 Kyle Rumsey, we're just speculating on that. Don't see.
Yeah, he's taking his jersey off. That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, yeah. And as you're saying, he probably was retaliating, and that's the problem. The second man is the one that sometimes gets caught. Penalty goes against Aberdeen. It is a first down and 5. Give up the middle and taken down. Good tackle by Aberdeen. Looked like that might have been Meyer Sims.
So what they did there, Don, was they didn't walk it off and back. They just took the difference. It was 10 yards on the holding and then a dead ball foul. That's why they weren't offsetting. So the personal foul was dead ball after the play. That's why Edgewood ended up with a first and 5.
Second down and about 2, long 2. Inside handoff. Oh, great, and a flag goes down. That could be holding again. Carrying the ball was
Great play by Pinnell for Aberdeen.
Isaiah Meganson carried the ball. Looks like it is going to go a hold against Edgewood, their second hold in a row here.
They'll probably take him back.
You talked about Zaire Pinnell, number 2, the senior, coming in from his left linebacker position. Would have been a third down. It's a decision that Kelvin Harris makes to take them back 10 yards. So instead of being a third and about 1 or 2, it's going to be a second and about 15, maybe 14.
I think you got to take him back, especially 4-down territory.
Yeah. Clock moving at 6:50. Well, actually, it's stopped right now as they get ready to set the ball in play, and now it moves. Second down, 14 yards to go. They've got to get down to the 41.
For Edgewood to throw here.
Rolling, looking, throwing. Has a man complete down at the 40. Well, that is a tough throw, Pat. You as a quarterback can talk about that.
Well, he's running left. I like the play design. It's a flood route, so they got 3 guys going out into the left, 1 in the short flat, 1 medium, which he threw to, and 1 deep. So they're just flooding the zone over there, and nice play. Nice blocking by the line. The quarterback picked the open guy and hit him. Got his shoulders turned. Good throw, good catch.
And the up-tempo for Edgewood, they're not letting Aberdeen rest at all. Hand off inside. O.E. Cunley. Short yardage on first down.
Yeah, there's Tommy Fisher.
The big linebacker, Tommy Fisher. Actually, Tommy Fisher, who plays that defensive tackle position at number 44, making the stop. Tommy, one of those two-way players. You see a lot of them, Pat. Did you play two ways in high school?
No, not as quarterback.
No, the quarterback doesn't play. I forgot the quarterback. He's too precious.
That's right.
Oh, Forrest Weiss, Bud Coakley, I can't imagine they're letting the quarterback off easy.
Well, I tell you one thing, we didn't have red jerseys in practice.
6:03 left in the first. Edgewood, as you see, with that 6-0 lead. They took the kickoff, and I mean, it was like a knife through butter, just right down the field in 5 plays.
You're right. It looked just like the Browns drive last night on TV. They, just as they had it scripted.
Yeah, as we're doing this on a Friday night, coming away. Actually, this game is not going to be on TV until, I think, November the 1st. There you see some of the crowd. Nice crowd here tonight. As you said, Pat, I think it's going to be building. It started at 4 o'clock, so some of the people just getting off work and, coming in, settling in.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, some of the parents, it might be a little difficult for them to leave work when they do, especially if they don't work locally.
Yeah. When your kids were playing and my kids were playing, you would do anything, any excuse you could use to get out of work to get there to see your kids play.
Yeah.
I don't feel so well. I think I'm going to just go home a little early today, as you drive 50 miles to see them play. Second down, 10 yards to go. Handoff, inside handoff. Good yardage, down near the first down marker.
Looked like Martin.
Isaiah Martin, yeah. Another one of those slot backs that also plays in the backfield.
A good vision there. He's picking his way through the hole. With this spread offense, the blocking is zone blocking, so they usually slant down on the blocking and try to create lanes, and the running backs have to have the vision to pick the right lane to go through. It's they're not like the old days where they're just drive blocking, trying to push them off the line of scrimmage.
Edgewood, 2 wide receivers both sides, a man in motion. I think he turned upfield just a little bit early.
I thought he did too.
Here's a pass coming downfield. It's going to be incomplete. Looked like that Bricino Lopez just threw that ball away. I think it's going to cost Edgewood 5 yards. Looked like the slot man who was in motion from left to right just turned upfield, maybe a count too soon.
Yep, that's what they got it for.
Pass is incomplete. If you're defensive, do you have a choice now to accept or decline the penalty?
You do. It's because it's not a false start. So that the play ran.
So they do take the penalty.
It'll
be first down and 15. 5:28 left in the first. Edgewood with the 6-0 lead, their second possession of the game. With 70 yards in 5 plays on their first possession. They took over here on the 35. They're down in Edgewood in Aberdeen territory again. Little flip. That's a forward pass classified as taken down on the near side. That again was Isaiah Martin. Never understood that, but that is a forward pass when you flip it forward that way. And
that's right. And Lopez is going to make sure that gets counted as passing yards too.
And the yak yards, the yards after catch, he gets credit for those yards too. Edgewood in the up-tempo offense. Pat, this has to be tiring for the defense to be.
It is. It's tiring. It's difficult to substitute. Aberdeen needs a big play here.
In motion is LeVar Banks. He's going to get the ball.
Oh.
Great pass. Hit him in motion. And drops the ball. I think he's able. No, let's see. Did Aberdeen get it? Boy, Pat, you called it. You said they needed a big play. Banks dropped the ball. It's going to be recovered by Aberdeen.
Yeah, Aberdeen needed that. It was a nice play. A nice touch on the ball. There was Lopez got it over the defensive ends. Led him perfectly.
Looks like. Here's a replay, you'll see it. I think Victor McKinney may be the man who comes up with the ball. Yeah, he makes the tackle. Then the ball's sort of bouncing around. And it's recovered by Aberdeen. Yep, that's number 20 instead. So that's Terrell Bowman who makes the recovery after the tackle by McKinney.
Yeah, nice strip tackle by McKinney, and Bowman was Johnny on the spot there. Nose for the ball. Good play.
Do you like that Nostradamus? You have the ability to see the future. What is going on? Aberdeen trying to get something started offensively now.
That's twice now Waller's been out there on that outside play there. He's really, he really looks good out there, setting the edge.
Ball starting at the 17-yard line. He loses 4 on that first down. Boy, Aberdeen needs, their offense needs to do something to get that defense have a little chance to rest.
Give them a little rest, give them a little breathing room.
Didn't mention the wind here tonight. The wind has picked up. Wind looks like it's blowing behind Aberdeen at this point. There you see Mackay Credell, nice close-up of the quarterback. Looking,
he's
rolling.
got a man in the middle of the field.
And overthrows him.
He went to the big man out of the backfield.
Yeah, it looked like, I'm with you, Pat, that he had a man wide open and running at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, he looked like he had Sims, but
brings up a big third down, 3rd and 14. You know, you got to dig deep in your playbook to come up with something to pick up 14 yards here.
Knowing Coach Rawlings, he's going to bring the house here. Watch for a blitz right over the center. He loves that A-gap blitz.
Tim Oyekunle, Antoine Jackson, the middle linebackers, look for 6 and 3 to be shooting that gap.
No, he stays base.
Keeping the ball around the right side, picking up just about nothing.
Oh, God, they're getting for a face mask.
you say it like with the exasperation of a Coach Rawlings. We had him tackled. You know, he was going to be 4th down.
Well,
now it's going to be a 10-yard penalty.
I think that was Kayvon Brown. He was in great position, made the tackle.
Should be a 15-yard penalty, and if it is, that'll be a first down for Aberdeen.
Yeah, they got him for the 15-yarder.
Well, you talk about big breaks for Aberdeen. One, the fumble, and now the first down on a 3rd down and forever play.
Well, it's, you know, play like that, it's sometimes it just happens. You know, you're running, you reach out, and face mask just ends up in your hand, and it's tough break for Edgewood, for Brown there. He made a nice play.
Mackay Credell, the Aberdeen quarterback, senior. Pistol formation, man in motion, handoff inside. Is that Fisher? Hit hard.
No, that wasn't Fisher.
Let's see who that was carrying the ball.
14.
Yeah, number 14, not 44.
Mackay George.
Mackay George carrying the ball. Had a nice little hole, and then he got stood up there right in the hole.
Yeah, there was a hole. Closed up quickly, but there was it's one of the better holes we've seen tonight.
Gain of about 3 on first down, bring up 2nd and 7. They've got to get out to the 37-yard line. Do the Aberdeen Eagles. 2 minutes, 40 seconds and counting. Inside handoff. That Edgewood defensive line, Kevon Brown, Anthony Pritchard, Avon Griffin, and Trent Alexander. Tough to move them, Pat.
Yeah, they are. They're playing pretty good. That was a new back on that, Gavin Hawkins.
Yeah, first time we've called his number.
Or maybe Sean. I thought it was 33. Was it 34? It's hard to tell sometimes.
Sean Price or Gavin Hawkins, one of those two. Flanked out here to the near side is Jairi Ivory, number 7, way out to the near side.
It was Price. My mistake.
Handoff inside. Nice hole, but it closes quickly. Wow. It looked like he was going to burst through for a first down, and then suddenly that hole closed.
Yeah, it looked like Antoine Jackson, the safety, came up. Or maybe he's playing linebacker there, but he came up quick. Good tackle by number 3.
Jackson has 3 tackles for loss, 30 tackles total in the season. That will bring up now a 4th down. 4th down and just about 3, and they're not going to risk it from their own 35-yard line. Again, it feels like the wind is at their back. It's sort of a swirling wind. Maybe even crossfield from near to far. Tristan Smith to punt it away. Nice high booming kick. He'll hit and take a nice bounce for Aberdeen and roll all the way down to about the 21-yard line.
Oh.
He picks it up. I thought the ball was dead. Running up the near side. That's Cameron Rankin. Rankin down the left side. And he's going to go in for the touchdown from the 21-yard line. I would already put that down as rolling dead. Looks like number 3, not number 9, Antoine Jackson.
Well, that's a risky play. It's a gutsy play, but it's a risky one. I don't think. Usually you see that when the ball's been.
Here comes a replay. You'll see that ball is.
Usually you see this when the punting team has actually touched it but not downed it, because you can't turn it over there. But that was a live ball. If he mishandles that ball, it's Aberdeen's ball. But
yeah, we're not going to see the replay, but we can just describe it that the ball was laying. It had stopped rolling, and I think Aberdeen relaxed because they thought the play was over. The Edgewood player, who was Antoine Jackson, picked it up and went to the left side and went all the way down, almost untouched, for the 70-yard, 80-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, I mean, it's a. Looks like they got the 2-point.
No, flag is down here. So an 80-yard punt return by Antoine Jackson.
That's a tough. Okay, here we go, the replay.
You'll see the ball is just laying there sort of dead. Jackson picks it up. Okay, I'll just give it to the official, and now runs. And there he goes. What speed he has, huh?
Well, it's a great heads-up play by Jackson. He came back. He didn't look like he was going for it initially, and he looked back and he saw the Aberdeen players let up a little bit. Like, I'm not sure what they were thinking. It just, I mean, obviously they were shocked that he picked it up, but.
Getting another chance for the 2-point conversion. This is going to be
play.
knocked down. So the 2-point conversion will be no good. It'll remain at 12-0.
Nice play by Pinnell knocking it down. But
55 seconds left in the first period.
But that's a strange play. You don't see that one very often.
No, you don't. And I mean, if you're the Aberdeen coaching staff, you got to say, look, the ball was live.
Ball's live. You got to touch it down. You don't see it very often. Usually the receiving team's telling their guys to get away, because if he drops that ball, like I said, it's Aberdeen's ball.
Yeah.
And
it was a great punt. I mean, the punt was a long punt in the air and hit and took a great bounce for Aberdeen.
Right.
And just sort of rolled dead at about the 21-yard line, and it looked like the play was over, and all of a sudden, here comes Antoine Jackson, Johnny on the spot, picking it up, and off he went. Wow. Put that one down, Pat, in your annals of things you'll see at a game that you've never seen before.
You keep coming to high school football games and you keep seeing new things.
Wow. So Edgewood now with a 12-0 lead here on senior night at Aberdeen in the first period. Boy, if you're Aberdeen, you just imperative, you've got to get something started offensively here. You've had, that was a 6-play drive, Aberdeen, so they did stay on the field a while, picked up 1 first down on the penalty. Kick coming down, taking a nice high hop at the 15-yard line. Flag goes down. That's usually where you see a holding or a block in the back.
Yeah, unfortunately for Aberdeen, this one's coming back. Nice block at the end of that play.
Yeah, and a nice return up to the 40-yard line. Wow. Bad break for Aberdeen. Of course, they got a couple good breaks in the last drive, so this one's going to back them up. And it'll be from the spot of the foul, not from the spot where the ball ended up. So that's going to be.
Yeah, so this is a 10-yard penalty in the books, but it's really about a 30-yard penalty.
Yeah. Clock has wound down now to about 46 seconds left in the first period. Pat, we were looking at the comparative scores, and Elkton is an interesting case where these two teams have played Elkton.
Yeah, Edgewood played them without their quarterback. It's a big piece of Edgewood's offense, but still they lost a tough one to Elkton where Aberdeen beat Elkton. So that's why I said you just don't know.
Handoff right up the middle. Is that big Fisher?
Fisher on the carry, and another tackle by Jackson. Jackson's all over the field tonight.
So he scores the touchdown. Antoine Jackson, number 3 for Edgewood on the punt return, makes the tackle. I think he brings out the water during timeouts. Carries the equipment. Does a little bit of everything. Senior Antoine Jackson, 30 tackles defensively on the year. Aberdeen picking up 2 on that first down carry. Fisher again. Boy, he's hit just as soon as he gets the ball.
Yeah, that was Jackson again. That was that A-gap blitz. That A-gap is between the guard and center, and I knew it was coming. Coach Rawlings can go only so many plays without blitzing.
He's like a Wink Martindale with the Ravens, huh?
Yeah.
There you see a good picture of Fisher. Big man, but he hasn't been able to get started here tonight.
No, Edgewood's been getting underneath of him before he can get the momentum up.
And that is the end of the first period with Edgewood leading by 12-0. You look at that defensive line and what they're doing, Pat, I think, and you know better than I, they're sort of stacking up the offensive blockers and letting the linebackers just shoot the gap.
Yep. Yep, exactly. They're good. They're playing good disciplined defense too. Their edge guys are setting the edges. They're not running around all over the place.
You see Kelvin Harris, the Aberdeen new coach, he took over 3 games ago, this being the 3rd game that he's been head coach. And mathematics teacher here, had a chance to talk to him before the game, and just a fine young man. And he's the kind of guy that you want to build your program around, because he is a classroom teacher, so he has the kids during the day in the class, and is dedicated to building a program here at Aberdeen.
Well, and he came into a tough situation middle of the season. Like I said, I haven't seen that happen before. I can't imagine it. I'm not sure if he brought in, if he learned the Aberdeen playbook or he brought in a new one.
He was the JV head coach before he took over as the head varsity coach. So, he had, I'm sure, used the plays that the varsity had been using. And he had head coaching experience being on the JV level.
That helps.
Well, here they switch sides now. Aberdeen going from left to right, back to pass. Throwing the ball. It's going to be incomplete. But nice job by Edgewood. They had that covered. Had he caught the ball, he would have had nothing but white jerseys all over him.
Yeah, it was a screen pass, I believe, because there were some linemen out there, but a little bit slow developing. And
you also noticed the quarterback, Credell, was staring down his receiver the whole way. So Edgewood was like, hey, we know what he's doing. It's like you're a batter and you peek back at the catcher and say, oh, curveball, I can hit that.
Well, here we go with another punt. Let's see what happens on this one.
Yeah. I think Aberdeen has learned its lesson, this time punting into the wind. Tristan Smith.
Yeah, Edgewood's going to get good field position here.
Going to meet the ball from about his own 5-yard line.
Another good kick, punting away from the returner.
Going to bounce around at the 50. And this time, they're going to let the ball bounce and roll dead. Looked like Malachi Barnes, number 10, who said, no, I don't think this one's the same that Antoine had last time.
Yep.
And I think Aberdeen learned his lesson. You could see they were all around the ball.
That's a good kick out of there, though, with, I think, a little bit into the wind and kicked it away from the return man, no return. So I guess he probably got about 35, 37 yards on that with no return.
Down to the Edgewood 46-yard line. Certainly great field position for Edgewood as they take over. Scored the first touchdown on a short run by Oye Cunley. Second one on that 80-yard punt return by Antoine Jackson. Both times the point after two-point conversion failed. 12-0 the score here as we are in the early part of the second period. Ball dropped, picked up, rolling, looking. Throwing long, it's going to be caught.
Nice
Was he inbounds?
catch.
No, he's out of bounds.
Nice effort, though.
It was. Well, that ball was up for grabs.
Yeah, the play was, looked like the play hit the snap hit the guy in motion.
That's not what we're supposed to do, Pat.
No, but a lot of poise. Lopez showed poise, picked it up, still ran the play, found a guy, almost converted it.
And you're right, there was no penetration by Aberdeen at all, so Brasino Lopez was able to pick it up and go ahead and run his play. Second down, 10. Brasino Lopez hands it off inside, on his feet, still moving. That's number 44, Jonathan King, in the ball game. Well, Keith Rawlings has really rotated his backs. He's got a bevy of those backs, and he's used them all.
He does. He's got no shortage of running backs.
Jonathan King, the big back of the group, number 44. Looks like that's Banks. ripped down as he gets just about to the 45-yard line, maybe a yard or two short of the first down.
I'm sure he's going to go for it here.
Will be fourth down and about a short yard, obviously in four-down territory. Big play here for Aberdeen if they can stop them. Pat, to get good field position. Still in that shotgun formation. Handoff inside. Looks like he's got it. Nice dive. Trent Alexander, the center. Anthony Pritchard, the left guard, opening that hole.
Nice blocking there. Nice run by King. Get upfield. Know what the situation is. Get your first down.
Four-play drive so far. Started at the 46, now at the 42 of Aberdeen. Racino Lopez waiting for the snap. Looks like he might be checking off. Back to throw, rolling, looking. Now throws. I think that's caught by Banks.
Caught by Banks. Might have taken away from his own guy.
There were two Edgewood players there.
Yeah, Torres was coming back for it. I'm not sure who he was throwing to.
LeVar says, hey, look, I have received the ball 15 times coming into the ball game. I won it. I got it. You have to be impressed with Banks.
Well, Torres is a sophomore, so I'm sure he...
You mentioned Banks. I guess that was his cousins who played a couple of years ago at Edgewood.
I think they were cousins.
Yeah. Excellent players, as you said, the one at University of Maryland. Back to throw, rolling. Flag goes down.
Yeah, that's going to be on Edgewood.
Diving interception. Let's see. Did he catch it in bounds?
On the 1 yard line. Yeah, they're going to give it to him.
Yeah, so that penalty will likely be declined. Mekhi Credell, number 8, giving credit for the interception off the fingertips of the Edgewood receiver. Aberdeen will take over their second turnover. You'll see that quarterback Racino Lopez kind of throws it up high, and there he is with a diving interception. Credell, the quarterback slash safety,
heads
making
up.
that interception.
Good heads up play by Credell. Looked like it went off the hands, maybe of 14. It was high off his hands. It's not a ball I think he could have caught.
Jacob Martin, the number 14. The good news is you got the ball. The bad news is that you're in the shot of your own goal line.
Yeah, I think Lopez forced that one a little bit. You're up, I think it was, what, second down, first down maybe?
Yeah. Aberdeen struggling for yardage.
First down, you're up 12-0 there on their side of the field. I don't think that's a situation where you need to force one.
If you could have your druthers, you would like to have had him intercept the ball in the end zone to be able to get the touchback to get out to the 20. But you'll take the ball when you can.
Oh, I'm sure Aberdeen will take the ball.
Looks like an Edgewood player down. Again, I always say it is so good. Pat, back in your day, you had volunteer trainers, and they did a good job. But they were volunteers. Some had medical training, some not so much. Now you've got people who are certified trainers who do this for a living, being out there right on the spot to be able to assess the energy and the injury and figure out exactly what's happened.
Well, we didn't have I'd say professional ones, but we were lucky at Edgewood. We had Larry Noel. I'm going to give him a shout out because I think he's listening today. He called me and asked me how I can listen to the game.
Really?
I couldn't get up here by 4 o'clock. So.
Larry, Larry was at the Edgewood High School Hall of Fame golf tournament, and I understand that Larry, though I didn't see it, was the life of the party.
He often is.
He normally is. Larry Noel. Yeah, one of the great. But did he graduate with you, Pat?
No, Larry's
much older.
Much older.
Yeah.
Much older.
Probably 2 or 3 years older than you. Larry was a great friend of Bud Coakley, the late, great, legendary Bud Coakley. But now that sun has come out, and what had been sort of a blustery, chilly day has turned into kind of a warm day. And you see some of the fans taking jackets off. I like it.
Nice 70-degree late October afternoon.
Yeah.
Not bad, huh?
Second down and about 7 to go. Mekhi Credell
Uh-oh.
Pass up in the air, falls. No, it's going to be caught by an Aberdeen player.
Well, a lot of guys had their hands on that one.
Not sure who was that. A lineman who may have
Looked
caught
like
it?
75. Barker, Jared Barker is going to go in the books for a reception.
And that's legal because it was tipped. So now everybody becomes eligible.
Well, that ball was tipped, and then it looked like Edgewood might have had a chance at it,
Yeah.
and got knocked again, and ended up in the left guard's hands, Jared Barker. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that might have been his first reception of his career.
Well, yeah. And it was very opportune because had Edgewood been able to catch that ball on Aberdeen's 5-yard line, what was a 12-0 lead was threatening to be even bigger.
Jarrett will be able to tell his grandkids on senior night he had a reception.
No, he tell them, but show them. He'll have the DVD. By the time his grandkids are able to see it, what kind of mechanism will they have?
That movement. I don't know if they're going to call Edgewood for coming across. I did not see Aberdeen move.
No. That would be a big break for Aberdeen if it is against Edgewood. Looks like Aberdeen's backing up, though.
Aberdeen must have drawn him off.
Half the distance, takes it back to about the, 4-yard line. Bring up a third down, and still about 7.
Yeah, not third and long on your 4. This is a tough situation. You got to try to get a first down, but you got to be careful too.
Yeah. Flanker here to the near side is Tristan Smith in motion. Give inside. Good yardage.
Yeah.
Can he get the first down? Yes, he does.
Yeah, that's Pinnell. I like Pinnell. We had him against Hartford Tech. He was playing more receiver that night, or got some jet sweeps now. He's playing in the tailback position. Kid makes a lot of plays on both sides of the ball.
Zaire Pinnell. Give a lot of credit to Jared Barker and to Raymond Morrell.
I like that play call. I was saying before the play, you got to be careful there, but you got to do it for the first down. We saw a play we hadn't seen, a counter, and caught Edgewood.
Big first down. Takes it out all the way to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's Fisher. Makes one cut. He is a load. You have to, what do they say, make a business decision? Well, the business decision for Fisher is get down low and hope he trips over me. That's my thought.
I hope he doesn't fall on you.
Trip him and then get out of the way. So Aberdeen moving now out from the shadow of its goal post. 7:05 and counting left in the half. Edgewood dominated the game, but only up by their 2 touchdowns and without the extra points. Nice hole.
Another good run off that left side.
Yeah.
No. All right, this is just what the doctor ordered for Aberdeen. Couple first downs, running the ball. They get a little bit of breathing room here out to the 30.
Close to the first down, and
Yeah, they got
I think they gave him the first down.
Yep.
Big first down. 2 first downs on this drive. Bob Arnold, the PA announcer, baseball coach here, announcing first down. High snap. Give. Pinnell. Off that left side. Going to that well again off the left side. They think they found something.
Yeah, you got to make them stop you there, which they got about 2 or 3.
Terrence Reed and Jared Barker across that left side, tackle and guard. Kevon Brown, Anthony Pritchard, Avon Griffin, and Trent Alexander, the top 4. And then Aquan Mull, Tim Oyekunle, Antoine Jackson, and Obino Owaller, the linebackers for Edgewood. Handoff off the left side. I like the left side of that line.
Well, they've had a little success there. Forrest Weiss used to say, if you find something that works, we'll run it till they stop us and then run it one more time just to make sure.
Make sure it wasn't a fluke. The late, great Forrest Weiss, one of the Edgewood High School Hall of Fame coaches and teachers.
I see Bruce Riley over there on the Edgewood sideline. Bruce, many people remember him from his very successful stint as the coach of the Bel Air Bobcats.
And his brother Chip Riley here also filming for Edgewood. Had a chance to talk to Chip before the game.
Bruce is one of the many alumni on the Edgewood staff that Coach Rawlings has brought back, class of '81.
Brian Donnelly among the others. Pitch out to the right side. Edgewood, nice job of getting ball players around the attack.
We got a decision to make here. I think you punt it. I know it's going to be tempting to go for it here, but I think you punt it. You're still in the game. You got out of the hole. I just think you don't. It's not 4th and 1. It's 4th and 2.
Yeah.
I don't think you give Edgewood the chance of getting the ball here. Well,
let's see. You know, it's not our decision to make.
Well,
Kelvin Harris, the Aberdeen coach, says, let's go for it.
Well, maybe he's got John Harbaugh's analytics going.
Either that or he just has a hunch. Big play here for Aberdeen and Edgewood.
I'd look for Pinnell here.
Think they might just try to draw him off? No. They're going to hand the ball off, and they're going to get the first down. That's what we know, huh?
Good call, Coach.
That's why we're up in the booth, and the coach is on the sideline.
Good call, Coach.
And if it had not succeeded, we would have said, what kind of call was that?
Well, it's a gutsy call.
It's a good thing about being a commentator. You get to stand 50 yards from the play and make pronouncements. And Pat, if you notice, we never make a mistake. We're always right. Fisher back in the ball game for
Aberdeen's going to change its backs up.
Actually, check it. It's Makai George in the game, number 14. Credell. Where's that number 8? And there's a familiar number 8 in the Baltimore area who we all have come to love and respect, Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Well, about 20 years, maybe 20 years, 18 years ago, I don't know, all of a sudden you saw a lot of kids wearing 52. And I think you're going to see a lot of kids wearing number 8 now.
Some kid named Lewis who did pretty well with the Ravens over the years.
Although there was another guy from Aberdeen that made number 8 famous in a different sport.
Actually, yes, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll wait till this play occurs. Pitch back.
Oh, nice play by Edge.
Fakes inside, now goes outside.
That's good defense.
I don't have a number 0 on my program. That was the number 0 who got it. The truth is about number 8 for the Orioles. Cal Ripken Jr., the Ripken number was 7, and he had always worn 7 his entire career. When he got to Baltimore, there was a guy named Belanger who had number 7, and so he was forced to take the closest number to 7 he could get.
And then his father took 7 once Belanger was gone.
Yep, because you're right. Cal Sr. says, give me that number. That's my number before it was yours.
I guess Junior wasn't going to switch back at that point. But
Calvin Ripken Jr. here in 1978 took his baseball team at Aberdeen to the state title. And then went on to do some good things as a professional. Here's a pass, complete, and out of bounds.
Well, nice little play by Credell, but
that's Zaire Pinnell with the catch.
But Credell to Pinnell. But I can tell you, I really like this Pinnell kid. He does a lot of things for Aberdeen.
I think this is the first time that Aberdeen has been in Edgewood territory. They're down at the 43-yard line now.
Oh, it's
big
this
drive.
Is a nice drive. This started on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's an 11-play drive, as you said, Pat, from the 1-yard line. If nothing else, it's given the defense a little chance to catch its breath. Senior night at Aberdeen. Makai Credell following the blocks. Hemmed in. He's going to be taken down. What a play.
Well, Pritchett got in late on the tackle, but Pritchett was the one that made the play 62. And we didn't mention a couple plays ago, he got penetration there as well to force the runner to go sideways. But nice couple plays there by Anthony Pritchett.
Pritchett has 5 tackles for loss on the year among his 19 tackles. Also has a sack. Well, that's a big momentum breaker if you're Aberdeen.
Big play there.
Loss of about, what looks like about 7 back to the midfield stripe.
Now you probably got to throw the ball with the 1:35 left.
Timeout on the field.
They're going to talk about it.
Edgewood, the only 2 touchdowns of the game. The first one was well earned. They went 5 plays right down the field with the kickoff. A 2-yard run by O'Kingley. Missed the 2-point conversion. Then the second one, a bit of a fluke, but a great play by Antoine Jackson, who picked up a punt just laying dead at the 20-yard line, went around the left side for an 80-yard touchdown run. 12-play drive for Aberdeen, started at the 1, got down to the 43. They're now at the 50, second down.
Well, if somehow Aberdeen can figure out how to get a first down here and maybe get some points out of this, they're going to get the ball to start the second half and get themselves back in the game.
See some of the crowd here tonight with the sunglasses. The sun has come out. It had been a very cloudy, sort of dreary day, and now the sun has come out, and Aberdeen is driving. So if you're an Aberdeen fan, things are looking up. Of course, a touchdown would really help at this point, right?
That would make the sun a little bit brighter.
You talked about the crowd. It was sort of sparse when we started at 4 o'clock, and now you're looking around. There are not too many empty seats in the stands. Second down. 17 to go. Bing rush, gets rid of one man, and still on his feet. Credell going to run with the ball. He's got a couple of yards and out of bounds. How did he get out of that mess?
Well, you made reference to a number 8 in Baltimore, and that was his Lamar Jackson impersonation there.
Yeah. Some of the, you may see some of the balloons floating loose here, the senior night balloons that the wind has said, hey, I'll take this balloon and we'll take it over to Haverty Grace. Kind of a weird senior night because they're going to do all the festivities after the game, seeing as how it started at 4 o'clock. Normally you see those before the game. We're told that the early start because of officials, inavailability of officials later on. Credell. Now he's going to run. Out of bounds he goes, still on his feet and finally taken out.
Well, I thought he was going to run out of bounds, but he nifty little move on the sideline to pick up about 3 or 4 more yards.
Going to be short of the first down, but he's close to it, maybe 2 yards short on third down. Has that ball out like a loaf of bread, like his counterpart, the 8 from Baltimore. If you have a criticism of Jackson, it would be his ball security.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with that. He is leaving it out there.
Yeah.
Well, fourth down here.
Big fourth down and about 2, a long 2, maybe a short 3.
Look for number 2 to get the ball.
2 being Zaire Pinnell.
Oh, they got it. I think they start. Well,
I think he's short.
I threw him forward, but I still think he's short. Yeah.
Looked like it was Cameron Rankin in on the tackle. And he'll come up maybe a half yard short. So a 15-play drive that started back at the Aberdeen 2-yard line takes a lot of time off the clock. We've got, 1:01 left here in this first half.
See how aggressive Coach Rawlings is here. I think he's going to try to. I think he's going to try to make something happen here. I believe he's got all his timeouts left.
I think you're right. That sun now right in our eyes as we're looking out from the luxurious press box. Yeah. I always wanted to say that. You know, normally we're in the stand somewhere, freezing to death. Today, beautiful day. Back to throw. On the screen. Hit and taken down in the backfield.
Flag. That may be a lineman downfield. 70 looked pretty far downfield.
Jonathan King on the reception. Tackle behind the line. For Aberdeen now a decision if there was a illegal downfield. .1 seconds left as the clock is stopped. Pat, these teams have just 1 game apiece left in the regular season, and then they prepare for the playoffs.
Illegal shift, huh? And holding.
I think they'll take the holding. Now, Pat, you were saying how aggressive does Keith Rawlings get if you make a mistake back here and let Aberdeen back in the game?
You may see him try to run out the half here.
Yeah, you might just go ahead and try to be a little more conservative.
Lopez is a senior quarterback. Maybe he trusts him, but now you're 1st and 20 on your
own, like, 25-yard line. Persino Lopez back to throw. There's our answer. Out of bounds, stopping the clock. Pickup of about maybe 8.
Yeah, even though it's on the sideline, Aberdeen's going to give him that one.
Catch by Jacob Martin. Rolling, throwing, has a man.
Oh, nice
Big
tackle.
hit. The catch by Banks. The hit by number 6, Meyer Sims.
Nice tackle by Sims there. Came up strong.
Didn't use the helmet.
Well, the big thing is he got him in bounds. Yeah. Edgewood was trying to get out of bounds there, and he stopped it from happening. Causes them to take a timeout.
In Edgewood, we see now that with the timeout, Keith Rawlings is not interested in just salting away this first half lead. He's looking for more with 32 seconds.
Yeah, he's going to have to come up with something big here. 3rd and 10 with 30 seconds.
And it shows confidence in your team, I think, Pat. Now, logically, you would say with 70 yards to go and facing 3rd down, maybe it's time to be a little more conservative. But Keith is building something at Edgewood, and that is confidence and, faith in the program.
Yeah, he's building something. He's trying to get his team ready for the playoffs. Everybody goes to the playoffs this year.
It's a weird season, again, because Edgewood has won 2 games on forfeits because the other team had a COVID issue. And obviously not something you want to because it was a down week. I mean, you get tired of hitting yourselves. And again, 2 very winnable games for Edgewood. Not saying they would have necessarily won them, but on the other hand, the forfeits weren't just gimmies. Here we go now, 3rd down and 10. Brasino Lopez throwing, gets it off just before he's hit. It's going to be...
They got it.
Caught on the far side.
Martin. I think that's Jacob Martin, the
Number
sophomore.
14, yeah.
Well, you throw that one up, it's the same as a punt if Aberdeen comes down with it.
And the clock is still running at 20 seconds, so he didn't get out of bounds.
Surprised they didn't take a timeout there.
Lopez, screen pass, short, incomplete. This clock will stop now with 12.5 seconds left. Boy, what a throw and what a catch. And boy, did Brasino Lopez got blasted just as he let that ball go.
He did. He's a tough kid, but that's. I think they're thinking you throw a ball down. If Aberdeen comes up with that, it's it's like I say, it's similar to a punt.
Brasino Lopez throws it toward the out of bounds, and he does get out of bounds.
Martin again.
Yeah. Young man who's come up with a couple of big receptions here.
Yeah, they may have one play here if they can get timeout called. One play.
7.8 seconds left.
They can run before going for the end zone.
Brasino Lopez, ball is hit, and that will stop the clock.
Yeah, now they got to go.
4.5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if his timeout situation. The scoreboard says 3. We know that's not right because he took one there a minute ago. So I'm not sure of his timeout situation. I'm surprised they didn't call timeout after the long play.
Have to go for the end zone here, I would think. There's not time to do, even if you go out of bounds, it's going to use up 4.5 seconds.
Yeah, this is in the end zone. Aberdeen needs to get deeper.
Brasino Lopez. Time. Throwing into the end zone. Up for grabs. It's going to be out of the end zone, incomplete, and that will be the last play of the first half. So we have seen that in both cases we sort of questioned the coach's decision, one for Aberdeen going for it, 4th down in your own territory. He was right. And then we said, well, maybe Keith Rawlings should just sort of sit on the ball. No, he took it down and almost had a chance there for the touchdown.
Well, both the coaches were more aggressive than us. And it worked out for both of them.
And both of them building
worked.
programs, Pat, as we're talking about, and that's exactly what's going on. Well, you can see the band marching on the field and the senior night festivities underway here at Aberdeen. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the second half action. Edgewood leading by 12-0, as you see. Don't go away. This is going to be a great second half. We're back with you at Aberdeen High School. The Edgewood Rams leading 12-0 here at halftime as we enter the third period on senior night at Aberdeen. Pat, before we get into the ball game itself, 2 men from Aberdeen, known in Aberdeen widely, Johnny Brooks, who coached here at Aberdeen for many years, and Charles Rigor Mortis. If you're from Aberdeen, you knew him, graduate of Aberdeen, 1968, and he was around the Aberdeen athletic program his entire life from that point on. They both passed away in the last month, within a couple of weeks of each other. Tremendous loss here in Aberdeen. Two great men who left a legacy that others can emulate.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rigor Mortis, I think, was very involved with the baseball program here, and was Aberdeen his whole life did things for the, whether it was with the Boys and Girls Club or, just a huge man in the community, and Johnny Brooks as well. Johnny was my era, a year older than me. He was the quarterback for Haverty Grace when I played at Edgewood, won the state championship his senior year for Haverty Grace, and then went on and played some college football, came back and coached at his alma mater for a while, and football and basketball.
And baseball.
And then coached at Aberdeen, and I went to his viewing a couple of weeks ago here, and it was guys he played with, guys he coached, people from the community, just a lot of love for Johnny Brooks, and major loss with both of those guys.
Well said. Well, we're now starting the second half. Aberdeen gets the ball in the kickoff. They had the ball at the 25-yard line. Here we go, 1st and 10. Credell going to his left.
Well, Aberdeen's offense showed a little life at the end of that half. Credell got the interception down on the 1-yard line, and they had a 3rd and 7, and they were able to get the first down on the counter. And next thing you know, they're across midfield, and if not for a big throw for sack, they had a chance to score there right before the half and get back in the game. So let's see if they can keep it going here.
12-0, both touchdowns for Edgewood. One scored on the first play, or the first drive actually. 10-17 of that first period on a 2-yard run by Oye Cunley. And then the second, that big 80-yard touchdown run on a punt return. Kind of the weirdest punt return you'll ever see, when the ball was laying dead on the ground. And Antoine picked it up. Antoine Jackson, picked it up and went 80 yards around the left end, almost untouched until he got to the goal line. I think it surprised everybody, including me, thinking that the ball was just laying there. Pat, you made a great point. He looked around, saw nobody was going to come to the ball, so he just said, well, I'll take it.
That was a heads-up play. I give him credit. Usually the coaches are telling you to get away.
3rd down, big 1st down dive. Let's see if he got it. I think he did, he being number 1, Tristan Smith. 1st down and 10.
We didn't see Smith in the first half. I wonder if there was a disciplinary issue there. Or...
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. We didn't see him run the ball.
Oh, good stick.
Off the right side. We give credit to Obina Owaller, Trent Alexander.
Hey, Eric Williams made a nice hit on that. Nice stick. It looked like it was going to go for more.
No gain on that 1st down play. This drive started at the 25-yard line on the opening kickoff of the second half. Aberdeen picked up the 1 first down. Now they are going to give him about a yard on that. 2nd down, just about a long 8, a short 9. Mackay Credell, the quarterback.
Yeah. Right guard moved.
What happens there, Pat? You as a quarterback, everybody knows the signal count. Do they just get antsy, or do they forget the count? What happens?
Yeah, I just, I don't know, because I played quarterback. I always tell them guys, no, you're in there in the trenches. You're looking at the guys in front of you, and it's, maybe you didn't hear the snap count. Maybe the quarterback changed the count from where you normally go. Just lost concentration.
2nd down, 14 yards. Couple of moves, picking up the 5 they lost.
Yeah, good play there.
It's Smith again.
Got about 6 yards, 6.5.
5-play drive now, bringing up a big 3rd down, 3rd and just about 7. They've got to get up to the 45-yard line. Just underway here in the second half. 12-0. Edgewood scoring both of their touchdowns in that first period. The second period, really neither team, both teams threatened, but neither was able to score. Aberdeen, as you said, Pat, showed a lot of life in that second period. Here comes Cradell. Ducks it inside. He's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, but
we saw.
Coach went for it before on fourth down here.
Coach Harris, yeah, it was about at the same spot as I recall.
Just about. There's no doubt in my mind he's going for it this time.
Fourth down and a long yard. He's got to get across the 45, just to about a few inches past the 45. So it's just a little bit more than a yard. What's the play, Pat?
Well, it's full house backfield. Smith's going to get the ball. No.
Shooting the gap and making the play.
Nice play.
Looks like number 8 for Aberdeen. For Edgewood, I mean. It's Cameron McKinnon.
Yeah, and Kayvon Brown as well.
Boy, a big play, and that's a great play for Edgewood.
Yeah, we hadn't seen that play all night. They go in the full house backfield, and then just sort of a quarterback. Well, good play by Edgewood, shooting the gap. That's Coach Rawlings. Had the all-out blitz.
Big play there. This could be the play of the game in terms of Edgewood can go in and score their third touchdown. They could sort of put it away here early in the third
Edgewood
period.
kind of fooled around here after that initial touchdown. Let's see what their offense does.
Pass out on the flat to LeVar Banks.
That's
Banks
touchdown.
down the right sideline.
Yeah.
Look at the speed. LeVar Banks. He goes untouched from the 42-yard line for the touchdown.
He got a nice block out there from his wide receiver. That's the difference between plays going for 10 yards and big scores. But
so the touchdown pass going from quarterback Larry Vecino Lopez to Banks down that right sideline for the touchdown.
They're going to run this trick play here. Now, if Aberdeen covers both sides of it, they should probably just go back under center. They're going to run it anyway.
The pass, the touchdown on the 2-point conversion.
So I think he threw it to the center.
It looks like 44.
See if we
Jonathan King on that 2-point conversion. Here's the touchdown pass.
See if we can get this block out here by the wide receiver.
There you see Banks going in motion. Catches almost a lateral pass. Just
2 blocks. Forward. Yeah, both receivers out there. 14 was one. I apologize.
14 Jacob Martin.
The guy in the slot made a nice block too, but that's why that went for a touchdown. The wide receiver blocker.
And the speed of Banks. Once he got a little bit of a crease, he was gone.
Yeah.
42
now he turned the Jets on.
A pass from Larry Vecino Lopez to LeVar Banks as Banks scores the touchdown. So touchdowns by Oyekunle, by Antoine Jackson, and now by LeVar Banks. Makes the score 20-0 as Aberdeen gets or Edgewood I should say, gets its first successful 2-point conversion. And Pat, we talked about taking a risk, and that time it backfired on Aberdeen, and Edgewood set up in good field position and then one play.
Yeah, I mean, good kick.
Going to go over the head and into the end zone.
You can't return it out of the end zone in high school football.
He caught it sort of on the one and went into the end zone. Sort of the momentum took him.
Carried him in. Yeah, you can't return a kick from. But yeah, Aberdeen had gone for it. We saw towards the end of the first half on 4th and short, maybe even a little longer from the same spot on the field. Well, you kind of have to mix it. It's 12-0 in the second half. Coach is trying to make something happen and ran a play, tried to trick them. Play that they hadn't run, and Edgewood had a good defense called run blitz.
Well, you're right. I mean, as you said, we hadn't seen that quarterback draw sort of keeper that he ran, and ran it right into the defense. So let's see what Aberdeen can do now, taking over 1st and 10 on their own 20, down by 3 touchdowns now.
There's that double A gap blitz again. Oh, they got the perfect play called if he can beat his man.
Out of bounds, a pickup of about 5 or 6.
Good job by Aberdeen picking up the blitz, and they had a great play call for that little screen out to the left side. Put your guy one-on-one with the corner.
Good play by Edgewood to make it just a 5-yard gain. That could have, Pat, as you said, gone a long way. Third period, Edgewood now has scored 2 touchdowns, their last 2 on 1 play. One on an 80-yard punt return, this one on a 42-yard pass play.
Well, they've been explosive all year. Nice play.
Good run. Takes it up to about the 30-yard line. Now check it, it's on the 26 as they
couldn't tell who made that tackle. It was a good tackle.
Big third down play. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. They've got to get to the just over the 30-yard line. Crowd has really grown here. We mentioned that we started at 4 o'clock and there were lots of seats open. I don't think there's very many seats open here if you're in the area watching on live video streaming. Come on over.
Nice play.
Hit and taken down in the backfield.
Yeah, that's our man Jackson.
Antoine Jackson. The man who scored the punt return touchdown.
Action Jackson. He's had a big game tonight.
So 3 plays, and now the Eagles are going to have to punt the ball away.
Yeah, I know they don't want to punt it here, but they got to.
Snap coming from Javari Bowman, number 70. Tristan Smith in to punt the ball away. Is that our man Antoine Jackson back to receive? No. Antoine's up close. It's a high kick coming up, and he's touched it and was able to retrieve the ball.
Got a break there. That could have been disaster for
That
Edgewood.
was fortunate. He came up, tried to catch the ball on the run. That was number 19, Jamar Torres. That's the kind of ball that could have gone 50 yards the other way.
Well, that's a tough one because it's a short kick, and you don't want to try to field it because sometimes those short kicks you don't field it and then it rolls 20 yards. So he's trying to make a play on the ball and got a nice bounce on it. Turf helps. Sometimes you get a better bounce on the turf than you do on a traditional surface.
And Edgewood now will take over in Aberdeen territory at the 48-yard line, already up by 3 touchdowns.
I think this is a critical time for the Aberdeen defense, Don.
Flag is thrown, whistle blows. Not sure, maybe
offsides Aberdeen. I'm not sure why he blew the whistle on that unless they actually, I didn't see movement. Did they just line
it's going to go against I don't see a flag either, but you're right. They blew the whistle and they're going to charge Aberdeen 5 yards. So adding misery to misery, it's now 1st and 5 from the 43.
Looks like Edgewood's going to stay aggressive with their play calling.
Inside handoff.
They had a pass called on that 1st down play.
Jonathan King with the run.
Jonathan King on the carry. Gain of 3 brings up 2nd down.
2nd down and just about maybe a long 2. Got to get to the 38.5-yard line. Brasino Lopez going all the way at quarterback. King has the 1st down and more. King, the big back.
Yeah, good run. Nice block. I like how he changed hands, got the ball in his outside hand. That play wasn't supposed to go out that wide, but again, the zone blocking, and he found his lane, and good run.
And they played that up-tempo the entire game. That's sort of worn Aberdeen down. Brasino Lopez. Hands off. Good defense this time by Aberdeen. Flag goes down. He threw it right into the pile, and I'm not sure what that's about. Could it be a face mask?
Well, it was a good play by Fisher.
No,
chop block.
Chop block against Edgewood.
It's a good play by Fisher, getting penetration. Yeah, I don't think it was an intentional chop block. I think everybody was just piled up.
Yeah, it was like a scrum there, and that's not normally where you see that chop block called. Normally you see that out in the open field.
That's a big one too. That's 15 yards.
Yeah, personal foul. It's a dangerous sort of a play when you hit somebody down around the knees. It's something that's come into football in more recent years. In the old days, a block at the knees was you got a sort of a gold star from your coach.
Yeah, you can't hit somebody with the chop block. When somebody's engaged in a block, you can't come in and hit them below the waist. And, obviously, that's what the officials saw.
Talk a little bit more about Brasino Lopez here when we have a moment. Rolling right, looking. Throws it long. It's going to be
no,
almost
no.
intercepted, and it is intercepted. Taken away by Aberdeen. That's Tristan Smith with the interception. Down the right side, he steps out of bounds. So we talk about a critical mistake, letting Aberdeen back in the game here. Up by 3 touchdowns, you throw the interception.
I think that was Duffin on the interception, by number 4.
And the Eagles take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, David Duffin, number 4, not the number 1, Tristan Smith. We'll see this interception here, thrown up in the air.
Yeah, he threw into double coverage.
It is number 4, you're right.
Yeah, that's the second time now. I know it's 1st and 25, but still, it is 1st down, and you just can't throw the ball up for grabs on 1st down.
David Duffin with that interception runs it back out to the 43, 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for Aberdeen. It's almost a lateral, but they do call it a forward pass.
Good play by Waller. He was right there.
So Aberdeen gets its, second interception and a fumble recovery, so they've had 3 turnovers.
Coach Rawlings isn't going to be happy about that. 3 turnovers in 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, when you're, let's say you're winning the game, but coaches always like to have something they can come on Monday and say, hey, don't get your head up too high. Here's some mistakes we have to clean up. We're talking about the quarterback for Edgewood, Larry Vecino Lopez, who went out early in the season with a concussion, missed part of the first game and the entire second game. Obviously, they're happy to have him back at full strength. Same pass, almost intercepted. Great tackle by Edgewood. Was that Jackson? No, it was number 6 in this case. That's Temioki Alunde who made the tackle.
Good play. Good play by the linebacker, Oakley Lundley.
Dangerous pass, too, Pat. I heard you almost take your breath away because that thing, had it been intercepted, could have gone the entire distance.
Couldn't tell who that was. I couldn't tell if it was Mull or Brown over there, but somebody almost picked that off. Maybe,
3rd down, 3rd and 9.
Maybe Alexander.
Yeah, one of the linemen just about had it.
Double
reverse and fumble.
Yeah.
Aberdeen is fortunate to retain the ball. Going to cost them about a 10-yard loss, though.
Yeah, that was
doomed from the outset.
Not how they drew it up in practice, but I don't think it would have went anyway. I think Edgewood was in position.
But Pat, give the Rams credit. They have played, except for those 3 turnovers, they have played a really great defensive and offensive game. They've dominated throughout.
Yeah, it's good defense there. After the turnover, getting the 3 and out.
Tristan Smith to punt the ball away for Aberdeen. I think the Eagles' furthest penetration has been about the 42-yard line of Edgewood.
We'll get a chance for a return here. There he goes.
Right up the right side.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Coming back.
Flag down. The run by Jamar Torres.
I just thought if he could catch the ball moving forward, he had a chance, but I don't know if it's a hold or a block in the back, but
it will come back. It was going to be the 2nd touchdown run back of the kick.
I'm not sure what that call is.
Going to be some kind of a blocking penalty. You'll see if you can pick up the penalty here. Catching the ball on the run is Torres. Very dangerous play by him, but made the catch.
I think it's a crackback block. There's been an emphasis on that, but I think that's a crackback block.
And you saw 2 flags go down, one from the official right on the spot and the other from deep in the backfield, so they were able to catch that one. Not sure if that was the block that sprung him loose, but in any case,
I don't think he was at full speed at that point. I don't think that was a. Yeah, it's tough that you're trying to. Yeah, like I say, 5 years ago, the coach is slapping you on the butt, telling you how great a block that was. But there's been an emphasis on those crackback blocks, and it's a dangerous play, but it.
So instead of a touchdown, the Rams will have the ball. They'll take it over at their own 43-yard line. Larry Brasino Lopez. Coming our way on the run.
Good counter there. Oh,
That's Torres again. The young man who just had the touchdown that wasn't a touchdown after it was called back. This time he picks up about 12 yards, gets a first down into Aberdeen territory.
Torres has got. Oh, we're coming back on this one too. Oh yeah. Oh boy.
So 2 straight penalties, and again, you talk about the Edgewood coaching staff and fumbles, interceptions, and penalties.
Well, I didn't see that one, but
then again, you don't have a striped shirt on.
I don't. Coach Rawlings is going to want to get this cleaned up.
See what the call is. It's a big one. Some kind of a blocking penalty. I didn't see the call. Suffice it to say, it was a 15-yarder. It goes all the way back to the 31-yard line. Here's a pass to the left side. That's Lamar Banks with the ball. We've seen Banks take that one to the house.
Good play. Got half of it back. More than half of it back.
Brasino Lopez throws a ball that's very catchable. Now, of course, he's thrown the interception, but 2 interceptions. But
well, I'm impressed with the way he leads his guys on these swing passes. That's not as easy of a pass to throw as it looks, and if you throw it just a little bit behind him, it makes a difference sometimes of getting tackled in the backfield and being a big gainer.
Yep, taking away their momentum.
But if they can catch it in stride, it's a big plus.
Bouncing it outside, coming this way, not going anywhere though.
Good defense by Aberdeen. That's good.
Very good defense.
Good team defense. There was an early penetration, and then Pinnell.
Sean Price, who was the final man to come in and clean it up.
Yeah, good team defense.
Big loss on the play, a loss of about 7 yards, maybe 8 yards. Bring up a 3rd down now. 3rd and a long way, 3rd and about 17. Got to get across midfield, the ball resting at the 33-yard line. 3rd down.
Got trips out here the short side of the field. Let's see if he gets one-on-one coverage up top.
Almost jumps. Little pitch to 22 of Edgewood.
Yeah.
That's Isaiah Meganson.
Uh-oh. Aberdeen thinks they have it.
Fumble. Let's see. No official sign yet. Aberdeen is saying we got the ball.
It's Aberdeen ball.
It is Aberdeen ball, and so now the 4th turnover of the game against Edgewood. And this puts Aberdeen in the best field position of the night. They're going to have the ball at the 30-yard line of Edgewood. Looks like they're giving a fumble recovery to Oye Kunle, I think. Aberdeen player shaken up on the play. It's Javari Bowman walking off under his own power. Looks like some sort of an arm injury. And Javari Bowman has been playing the center position, so I'm not sure how that'll affect Aberdeen in their offensive deployment here. So the Eagles will take over now, a chance to get this a bit closer here in the 3rd period. We've got about 1:18 left in the 3rd, down 20-0.
Well, it's a must score here. You got field position. We're running out of time here. If it's down 3 scores, you got to get one here. This is a gift.
Mackay Credell rolling. Hemmed in. No place to go, and down he goes.
Great defense.
It really was. How they strung that play out to poor Kayvon Brown in to make the final hit.
There just hasn't been room for Aberdeen to get outside. Edgewood's done a great job on the edge. They've had a little more success running in between the tackles.
As you said, the Eagles need something big to happen quickly. Down by 3 scores with time running out. We're inside the final minute of the 3rd period. Senior night at Aberdeen. Nice crowd. Beautiful night for football. There's a good opening.
Good play there, Mackay George. He's a big back.
Down inside the 30 to the 28. It's going to be third down and about 4.
Same play. Good defense there.
Great defense.
Who was that on the penetration there?
Looks like
90.
90 is and 33 who came in and finished it all.
Yeah, James Jennings got the initial penetration.
Trent Alexander is one of those interesting players. He wears 61 on offense and then 33 on defense and on the tackle. That'll bring up fourth down. Big fourth down now for Aberdeen. Obviously, 4-down territory. I think that is the end. It is the end of the third period, with Edgewood leading by 20-0. They led by 18, or I should say by 12-0 after the end of the first period. Then got that big run on the pass play from Banks, who caught it from Lopez in the third period to make it 20-0, and that's where we are. Here you see some of the senior night crowd here at Aberdeen, mostly in shirt sleeves. It's been that kind of a night. Sun beginning to go down, because remember, this was a 4 o'clock start, so it's now approaching sundown time.
This is whatever play Aberdeen's been holding back, now's the time to call it, Don. 4th and 6. Deepest penetration into Edgewood territory of the night. Fourth quarter, down 3 scores. I mean, you got to take advantage of this.
Edgewood trying to come up with their 5th win of the season with 1 game left in the year before they go into the playoffs. Aberdeen at 2-4. It's been one of those years for the Eagles. Again, a coaching change mid-year. Kelvin Harris, the new coach, coming up from the JV where he was the head coach. Our final telecast as far as football is concerned for the year. It's been a strange year, sort of COVID, obviously rearing its ugly head from time to time. Rolling, looking, here's that play.
He's got it.
Bounces around and incomplete.
6 looked like he was behind the defender. The ball was just a little underthrown.
6 being Meyer Sims. And Edgewood will take over on downs.
Well, good defense there. The Edgewood defense has come up big every time they've needed to get a stop.
Yeah, you're right. Aberdeen hasn't been able to move the ball to any great extent all night long. The turnovers and the penalties have kept Aberdeen reasonably close in the game. And again, you said it, Pat, if you're Keith Rawlings and staff, you've got a lot to talk about in terms of, hey, against a team that's a little more close to us talent-wise, you can't make these kind of mistakes.
Well, you can't have 4 turnovers and these kind of penalties and they get in the playoffs. I know Coach Rawlings has big designs on where they're going to go in the playoffs, but it's you got to clean this up.
Flag down.
There you go.
Pass is caught and now separated from the ball. Big hit there by number 33, Gavin Hawkins. Penalty, though, went down early.
I think Aberdeen jumped. I think Aberdeen's going to catch them for being offsides, but yeah, that was a great stick by Hawkins. Oh, legal shift on Edgewood. I stand corrected. I'd decline this if I'm Aberdeen.
Illegal shift, the call against Edgewood. The 5-yard penalty.
Now they're going to accept the penalty, so it'll remain first down, 1st and 15. Many reasons to decline, because again, time, that gives Edgewood 1 more play.
Yeah, it gives them another play. It was a no gainer, no flag.
Yeah, it looked like somebody jumped
now
off
there's a
sides, and
flag.
now we see another flag. It's been a fairly cleanly played game, and all of a sudden we're seeing lots of laundry on the field.
Face mask on Aberdeen.
Guess they have, what, the 10-yard variety and the 15-yard variety. This is going to be the biggie.
Oh boy.
not what Aberdeen needed, obviously, down by those 3 touchdowns.
Mark West marking it off, longtime Harford County referee.
Mark West, who the same Mark West who played basketball here at Aberdeen.
That's him.
Mark, who played back in the state championship days back under Terry Koloff, back in the mid-70s. First down and 10, ball at the 45. Across the 45 down to the 50. Yeah, it looked like the ball they thought came loose. Was that Oye Conley there?
Yeah, that was Timmy.
Oyekunle. Oye Conley. The way I am told to pronounce it. Hopefully we're doing him justice. Looked like almost a direct snap. To Jonathan King, 44.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Coach Rawlings is going to try to grind it out here.
Still maintaining that up-tempo that they've done all night, the no-huddle offense. High snap. That's Banks.
Well, it was a nice play by Lopez, getting the snap, not just getting the snap, but still being able to get the handoff out. And
Banks has a burst, doesn't he?
He accelerates.
He's one of those guys that's at full speed as soon as he takes that first step.
That's right.
First down for Edgewood. The ball inside the 35. Banks again around the left side.
Yeah, I would be surprised to see them throw again on this drive, especially the way they're running the ball. I think one more turnover and Coach Rawlings' head's going to explode.
Keith Rawlings, one of the most quiet, nice guys in the world, but not the kind of guy you want to get excited. Great football player at Edgewood back in the day. I think this is O'Kinley.
Yeah, this is a nice drive Edgewood is putting together there.
Oyekunle with that drive up the middle. Kind of looks like that first drive when Edgewood went down the field in 5 plays.
Yeah. Look how Oyekunle finished off that run too. Just put his shoulder down.
Yeah, he's that guy that's got the leg drive. Good picture of Larry Brasino Lopez. King dodges one tackle. Well, that snap has been high each time, too. You notice that Lopez has done a nice job jumping up and making the play look normal.
Well, I think they're working with a new center tonight. This is the old center in there. That's why you had Alexander wearing 33 and 61.
Yeah.
But I think they got a new center in there right now.
Another high snap. Banks takes around the outside, close to the first down. Drive started back on the 42-yard line of Edgewood.
They're going to give him the first down.
Rams looking for what would be the clinching touchdown, already up by 3 touchdowns with 8:21 left. Oyekunle with the ball off that left side. Boy, good blocking. Can't say enough about Brendan Gelner, about Anthony Pritchard and Trent Alexander. Eric Williams and Daniel Fawai across that front line. Well, Edgewood, other than the penalties and the turnovers, which you can't ignore, they've just played a complete game tonight.
Yeah, they're going to want to look for him to keep it on the ground here.
7:30 left in the game. Odie Coonley going in for the touchdown. That time he goes in from about, what, 4 yards out?
Yeah, 3 or 4. That'll probably do it.
Makes it 26-0 now.
This has been an exciting play here. Let's see.
Exciting play. Now it's a little scrum pass, and it goes in for the 2-point conversion.
They're going to call. I don't think Edgewood was set.
You'll see
Here's the touchdown.
this is a touchdown run.
Yeah.
One move, and he goes right into the
wide
end
open,
zone.
yeah. Aberdeen defense was gassed.
Yeah, they've been on the field for, it seems like 3/4 of the game. So the touchdown counts. It's the 2-point conversion. The officials are not quite sure that was legal. They're going to say against Aberdeen?
Against Edgewood.
No, now they turn around.
Yeah, I don't think Edgewood was set.
Yeah, the referee was sort of pointing the wrong way. Steve Warner, Steve, we all make little tiny mistakes. So now
Or
they're
no,
saying
maybe they did call it on Aberdeen.
it looks like it, yeah.
I've never.
Then, yeah, it looks like that 2-point conversion is good.
I've never seen an
Never
illegal
seen-
procedure on the defense.
Against, yeah, well, that's 2 new things we've seen.
Yeah.
A ball laying dead on the 20-yard line, picked up and run for a touchdown, and now illegal procedure against. Now the officials are talking it over, and you can see the smile on their faces. That's something unusual as well. Score is now 28-0 with that 2-point conversion. Steve Warner, Mike West, Nelson Cohn, Jim Ellis, and Roger Torres they've done a nice job here tonight as the officials on senior night at Aberdeen. So Pat, if you're Edgewood, the coaching staff, the players, you've got to be satisfied and happy with the way you played defensively and offensively. But you've got enough to talk about on Monday with those penalties and turnovers, 4 turnovers.
For the goals that they have for their team, and I know the goals that Coach Rawlings has because I talked to him, and the turnovers and the penalties are not going to fly. So it's 28-0 is a nice win. I don't want to take away from it, although we still have 7.5 minutes left.
Yeah. Aberdeen, as you said, needs a big play, something to really not only get them closer, but to buoy their spirits. They also need to keep the ball for a while, give that defense a chance to rest a bit.
Yeah, the problem is I think they're going to have to throw the ball here, and it's not really their strength.
Having a chance to thank Tim Lindekamp, the athletic director here at Aberdeen, for playing host to us tonight and making us very comfortable up here in the booth. Really appreciate the athletic directors around the county and the coaches that we couldn't do this, Pat, if they weren't
We got a quarterback change for Aberdeen.
cooperating. Yeah, don't see a number yet. Looks like number 17 for Aberdeen. And I don't have a 17
There's not a 17 on the roster.
on the roster. Pat, maybe if you can poke your head next door, maybe somebody can tell us who number 17 is. Just don't have that number on my roster.
Well, Cradell is in the huddle.
Who is the starting quarterback, number 8?
And he's now playing in slot receiver.
We'll try to find out for you who that number 17 is. Rolling, throwing, has a man, incomplete off the fingertips. I think that's Cradell there, who was the receiver in that case. My partner is checking out who number 17 is. Were you able to find out who?
Well, I just asked the Aberdeen folks and the PA, and they do not know who 17 is either.
Wow, a mystery man.
maybe just brought up from JV, who knows? Looked like he has a strong arm, though.
He does, yeah. Kind of distinctive wearing the pink socks. Pass down the sideline. Closest man to it is an Edgewood man. That's John Billy, number 11. Off his fingertips, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Are they going to go for it here?
Down 28-0 with 6:20 left in the contest. Yeah, it looks like the quarterback, number 17, our mystery man, is still in the ball game. So 4th down and 12 to go. They've figuring, hey, you know, if we punt, we won't get it back. So let's just go ahead and try to get the 12 yards.
Edgewood's not really, well, I guess the corners are back off about 10. Oh.
Could be delay.
Legal substitution.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Now that might convince Aberdeen to punt it away.
Yeah, it looks like they're all in.
Yeah, now it's 4th and 17.
I just got word, Don, that number 17 is Kelson Harris.
Kelson Harris. Thank you. And we don't have Kelson Harris anywhere on our roster, so you're right. He may be a recent promotion from the JV. Throwing it long. Intercepted, taken away by John Billy.
Yeah, now Billy's going to want the interception, but that ball should have been knocked down. They knocked that ball down, they get it on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, but you don't get an interception in your stat column.
No, I realize it's 28-0. And
yeah, you're right. The strategic play would have been knock it down. You get the ball back on 4th. It's like an Edgewood player.
Yeah, it looks like Torres down for Edgewood. Torres has had a nice game.
Jameer Torres, number 19.
Hope he's okay.
And again, the trainer's right on the spot and checking out exactly what's going on late in the game. Obviously, you don't want to see a player get hurt at any point. Didn't see exactly what happened. He was in on that pass breakup that turned into an interception. So the Edgewood Rams undoubtedly now their 5th win of the season. And he's up and moving. Kind of an ankle issue, it looks like.
Right leg, something there. Yeah, looks like he's okay.
Coach Coakley would have said, put some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Coaches weren't very sympathetic with injuries in those days, were they, Pat?
No. And whenever you got hit in the head and they asked you how many fingers were up, you always said 2, because that's what they always put up.
Or they'd say, close enough. You know, 2, 3, what's the difference? Was that the deal? That's why they always said 2. They always put up 2 fingers. Oh, we joke about that, but concussions, of course, have become quite the issue in football, and rightfully so.
New quarterback for Edgewood.
Oh, and another fumble, and Aberdeen picks it up. Looks like the flanker who was on the way through got hit with the ball.
Yeah, the timing was off. Hit the guy in motion. I wonder if it had something to do with the cadence with the new quarterback in there.
And the man who recovered the fumble looks like got a cramp in the leg from what they're doing.
Sidney Thomas, I believe it was, who picked up the fumble.
So that is the 5th turnover for Edgewood here tonight. Trainer's back on the field. You say you did pick up a number on that young man? Who
I think it was Thomas, Sidney Thomas, number 11.
So what is that, 2 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries?
Correct.
Kelvin Harris, the new head coach coming out. Who can't speculate and don't want to at this point, but we do know that the young man made the fumble recovery, and on the way down. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but it certainly is a lower leg. 28-0. Rams led 12-0 at half. Scored early in the third period on that 42-yard pass play from Lopez to Banks. And then Olukenye scoring from 4 yards out.
Well, he's getting up.
Yeah, that's a good sign. He wants to get up, does the player. And you're right, it is number 11, Sidney Thomas, who recovered the fumble.
Oh no, that's 14.
It is, yeah. You're
Mackay George.
Mackay George.
Sorry about that, Mackay.
With my old eyes, those numbers are a bit small, and sometimes a 4 looks like a 1.
Well, some of them get them tucked up underneath the shoulder pads there.
So the 5th turnover, and again, as you said, Keith Rawlings and the coaching staff for Edgewood just not going to be happy about that at all.
Yeah, there's still Harris still in the quarterback. They're going to continue to throw the ball.
Kelson Harris, not on our roster, not the roster that was sent to us, so he must be a recent call-up. Down he goes. Is that 63? Yeah, it's Pritchett, number
62.
Number 62, Anthony Pritchett.
Pritchett's had a nice ball game.
Coming in with a sack and 5 tackles for loss. He's had at least 2 sacks here tonight.
He's been in the backfield all night now. He's doing a little dance.
A little celebration. So Aberdeen.
Save those moves for later, young man.
Time left on the clock, about 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Aberdeen with the ball, looking to try to get on the scoreboard.
Oh boy, what now?
My partner is not happy with all the whistles. We said it was almost a flag-free game in the first half, other than that one expulsion that occurred. Second half, not so much. Second down, about 25 yards to go for a first down. Another fumble. Picked up by Aberdeen, but the referees had blown it dead.
They got Raymond Merrill, number 55, in the backfield. He looks a lot like Tommy Fisher, size-wise. And new quarterback, new running back, and the mesh point just wasn't where it needed to be.
Talked to Raymond's mother just before the game, and she was very excited about senior night. Oh, goodness. You turn around and all you see is number 4, Kayvon Brown, right in your focus point.
Yeah, well, Edgewood knows they're throwing the ball here, so they can just pin their ears back and come at him.
I'm sure Kelson Harris, if he was a JV quarterback, saw nothing like this on the JV level.
No.
Edgewood has simply been the dominating team here tonight. Again, as we said, other than the penalties and the 5 turnovers, they have really dominated this game throughout.
4th and 33, I think they're going to punt.
There's not many plays in the playbook for a 4th and 33 from your own territory.
Yeah, they got Duffin back in there to punt.
Fans have become just a bit restless, and I think they're looking forward to the senior night festivities that are going to go on after the game is over. Weird because of the start time of 4 o'clock. So they're going to do all the senior night festivities after the game's over, guaranteeing the fans will hang around. But Pat, you say you're on your way to a 50th birthday party, not yours. You're not,
Not
yet.
mine.
You're not 50 yet.
Oh.
You're still okay. Fine. Let's see. You graduated in 1983,
I put it this way, Don. I wish it was my 50th birthday party.
but you're not 50 yet. Now, how did that happen? Did you Did they put you forward a bunch of grades or what? No, a friend of yours turning 50. We talked about turning 50 as being a, let's say, a monumental day in the life of a man. Okay, so a horrible day in the life of a man.
Monumental wasn't what I was thinking.
No, 50 is just not a pleasant year, but it beats the alternative. Low driving kick. Coming up on it and making the catch again. That's twice Edgewood's done that. Down that sideline and finally knocked out of bounds. 22 for Edgewood. That's Isaiah Meganson.
Yeah, nice play by Meganson.
We've seen that twice now where they come up and caught the ball on the run. You know, your coaches tell you don't do that.
Well, it's 28-0. We haven't seen a lot of Meganson tonight, but he said, hey, coach, look what I can do.
Yeah.
I give him credit.
Yeah.
Made a nice play on the ball, caught it at full speed, and almost broke it. Almost took it to the house.
Almost took it to the house. In this case, the Aberdeen's house. Time 3:18. The clock stopped momentarily. We'll see if Edgewood is satisfied with the 28-0 score or if they're going to try to tack on another.
We got John Billy in at quarterback.
First time we've seen him quarterbacking, John Billy. John, a junior. Looks like that Coach Rawlings has emptied his bench a bit and getting some other folks in. Gonna mark off another penalty. Let's see what that is all about. It's a big one. Going to back the Rams to the 40-yard line, 41-yard line. Going to get down to the 21 for a first down, 10-yard penalty. Waiting for the snap and taking all the time they can. Clock is stopped. Now the clock is moving. Handoff inside. Larry Bracino Lopez, number 7, the normal quarterback. Was that he with the? No, that's number 2. Excuse me. That's Isaiah Martin who got the ball. Stayed in bounds. Well, they're going to say the clock is stopped at 2:23. Looks like there's a player down, and that might be Isaiah Martin.
Yep, good call, Don.
He's up and off the field. Now the clock winding at 2:20. Handoff, and down he goes. Very little yardage.
Well, Terrence Reed hasn't given up yet for Aberdeen. He's playing with some pride. Nice play there.
It's Cameron McKinnon, number 8, who carried the ball. Pat, that's a great call. You know, it's easy to be up and excited when you're up 28-0 or it's a close game, but you're down and, you know, the game is over, obviously, but you're still playing hard. Aberdeen ganging up, not letting him get outside. And that's Cameron McKinnon as the clock continues to roll with 1:23, and now it's stopped momentarily. Looks like there's a timeout on the field with the clock stopped at 1:23.
Aberdeen called timeout.
Pat Pollard, our last game this year together. I want to thank you so much for your expert commentary.
You're too kind.
No, I'm just saying like it is. The man who had a dislocated shoulder, who came to a game 2 days after taking a terrible fall. Very impressive. And now I need to say, I saw you walking up the stairs, pulling on the railing with your left arm.
Almost back, almost 100%.
I was proud of you. And you played golf last Saturday a week at the Edgewood High School Alumni Golf Tournament. We didn't win anything, did we?
No.
No.
Did not win anything.
Well, we raised lots of money for the Hall of Fame and the Edgewood High School scholarships to Bud Coakley and Wee Bradley in their memorial name.
It's 4th and 21.
Fourth down.
Has Edgewood punted tonight?
I don't believe so. I think this is their first punt.
First punt.
Picking the ball up, going into the end zone.
Pretty good punt by Billy.
Yeah.
Again, you can't run it out of the end zone on a kick in high school.
Yeah. Even if the ball is caught in play, if you go back into the end zone, then it's dead.
Yep. Your momentum carries you back.
Yeah. So Aberdeen will have the ball with 1:13 left, down by 28-0. The Edgewood Rams are going now to 6-3 on the year, actually 5-3 on the year. One game that will not be made up, so they'll play only 9 regular season games. Aberdeen going to 2-5, each team with 1 game left in the regular season before the playoffs start. One of the great things is the Aberdeen band. You can hear them in the background, still here playing away, and even though their team has not been able to come up with a win on senior night. Just think about it, this time last year, seniors were sitting at home because of the COVID. There was no football, no in-class, in-school class. Everything was done virtually. Caught.
Dangerous play.
Caught by Aberdeen, out of bounds.
Cradell's back at quarterback. Yeah, it's I think they did a neat thing by letting everybody go to the playoffs. So say last year you would have had a good team and didn't get to play football at all, you still get a shot at the playoffs this year, even if you're 1-8 or something.
Zaire Pinnell in there with that reception. We talked about him early in the game, what an impressive player he is.
Yeah, that took a little courage on that one. That was a buddy pass there, as they used to say.
And the penalty on the play, unnecessary roughness on the tackle. So that's going to advance Aberdeen out to the 43-yard line. Again, Edgewood with numerous penalties against them of a major variety, in addition to the 5 turnovers. Down he goes, hit, fumbled. They're saying Edgewood football.
Well, that will definitely do it there. I think Coach will probably just kneel on it here.
Didn't get the number of that fumble recovery. Yeah, it looks like 65 getting the credit. That's Brennan Geiner. So with 56 seconds left in the contest, I'm agreeing with you that I would be surprised if Keith Rawlings does anything more than just take the victory formation and kneel on the ball.
Yep, that's what we're going to see.
So if you've enjoyed this contest, Pat Pollard, Don Morrison will be signing off shortly after the end of the game. Edgewood led 12-0 at the half. They had scored on that big drive, the first drive of the game, going 5 plays straight down the field with Oyekunle going in for the touchdown. Then came that big 80-yard punt return by Antoine Jackson. They led 12-0, did Edgewood at the half. Scored 2 more touchdowns in the second half, one on the 42-yard pass play from Lopez to Banks, and the other on that big drive, a 2-yard run by Okenle. And that was the total scoring of the night, 28-0 as Edgewood wins to go to 5-3. Aberdeen drops to 2-5. Pat Pollard, any closing comments, any thoughts here on senior night at Aberdeen?
Well, we've seen Aberdeen twice this year, and both times they've been a little overmatched, I think, talent-wise, but both times under different coaching staffs, which is a difficult thing to do. But I thought they played hard. They played with heart. There's just a couple of times where they needed a big play, and they just couldn't quite come up with it. But I applaud the Aberdeen kids for the effort, and like I said, the drama that they've gone through this year, and it's tough. And Edgewood has big goals, and a lot of talent. They need to, Coach Rawlings, I think, will be the first one to tell you they need to clean some of it up. Too many turnovers, too many penalties, and he'll work on that. I'm sure he will. And as they get ready for the playoffs, their goal is to make a long playoff run.
And the stops and starts this year with their 2 COVIDed-out games where the opposing team didn't play because of COVID concerns has sort of made the season, not a continuous kind of a year. So I'm sure they're glad to get this game under their belt. I think the kids on Monday will take in the score saying, hey, Coach, 28-0, while Coach Rawlings is going to center on penalties, turnovers. You can't let that happen. So it's good in a way if you're a coach when you beat a team 28-0 to have something you can talk negatively about your team on that Monday practice.
And Coach Rawlings was telling me we may get a rematch of these two teams in the first round of the playoffs, but it'll be down at Edgewood.
Yeah. Well, again, that is our final here from Aberdeen High School on senior night, where Edgewood comes in and wins by a final score of 28-0, dominating the game. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don Morrison for my partner, Pat Pollard, saying good night, everyone. Have a great evening.